The need for clean water forms part of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It was the feature of the final episode of Activate, the Global Citizen Movement, broadcast on National Geographic. What made the series possible was the involvement of Procter & Gamble.
So P&G, corporately, has been leading the way in telling stories about how we can raise awareness of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the issues that we all need to collectively work on to solve the challenges that we face. And so this episode is about the clean water crisis. We traveled to Nigeria and we got to see on the ground the families, communities that are affected by this issue. And then we also followed the Global Citizen Campaign to get Nigerian state governors to invest more in water and sanitation infrastructure.
Sponsorship of shows is nothing new, nor is product placement, but P&G's involvement ran throughout the series.
This one, now we go use for water where dirty like this.
The Activate series includes several Procter & Gamble brands along with our corporate efforts, including Always and their efforts for girls' education, and Head & Shoulders and other brand efforts around sustainability issues like ocean plastics. All of these collectively are part of our citizenship efforts to be a force for good as well as a force for growth.
So what was it like having P&G on board to tackle problems like poverty?
This isn't the job of an NGO. This isn't the job of a government. This isn't the job of a private organisation. This is a human problem and it needs every single human being to come together to make it happen. So when it comes down to Procter & Gamble, Procter & Gamble's products reach about 2 billion people all around the world, right? So to end extreme poverty, there's a $350 billion funding gap every single year in order to lift the remaining 736 million people out of extreme poverty. So we work with Procter & Gamble because we have to, this is a human problem, and Global Citizen, Procter & Gamble, National Geographic, governments, businesses, NGOs, we all need to work together to make sure that we find a solution to it.
And what's in it for a giant business like Procter & Gamble?
P&G and our brands have been working on these issues for a very long time, whether it's through innovation like the water purification packets invented right here in the UK that we've been sharing with the world for 15 years, or education efforts, things we're doing in sustainability, all of these things that we've been working on for a long time. It's important to share with people because now today consumers want to know who are the people and what do they believe in behind the brands that they know and they love and use every day.
Mark Pritchard basically said that 9 in 10 people will engage more with a brand if they think that that brand is doing social good for the world. So when it comes down to the work that Global Citizen does with Procter & Gamble, we all have one aim in this. That's to create impact. We all have one aim, and that's to stop people from only living on $1.90 a day. And we all have the same mission, we all have the same idea. And next year, with 10 years to go to end extreme poverty according to the Sustainable Development Goals, we all need to work together.
Whilst P&G isn't about to stop doing 30-second adverts for the likes of Ariel, Gillette and Pantene, there's a move to raising brand awareness in other ways. It goes against the grain of the idea of getting a message across in under 5 seconds, but isn't that at odds with the aims of Global Citizen?
Where we're looking to work with some of the other great storytellers, people who are incredibly creative in different areas outside of your traditional advert that you might see. And we find that the content is really compelling. When you talk about these issues and you meet the people that are affected by them every day, it's just a much deeper, richer story than what we might be able to tell in a traditional short, 30-second or less ad. This is really content that people want to see and learn from. I think when you have short-form content and then longer, compelling storytelling, people turn towards that. I mean, that's the origin of advertising is, to turn towards something. And so the better the content, the more attention it'll receive.
When it comes down to it, brands to advertise their stuff, they don't need to talk about development. They don't need to talk about clean water and sanitation. They don't have to doesn't have to talk about ending period poverty. So the more brands that come on board with this and show other brands that it works, it all focuses on that one thing again, and that's impact. So personally, I feel really comfortable with it because P&G, Global Citizen, National Geographic, when we're working together on all this, it creates a hell of a lot of good, and that's only a good thing.
There's a danger that this looks like a box-ticking exercise to make big companies look good. For Global Citizen, it goes way beyond that.
We need businesses involved, we need the private sector involved, and it can't just be corporate social responsibility. It has to be their marketing departments, it has to be their products, it has to be sustainability. It absolutely has to be this complete 360 model to make sure that businesses are not just engaging in this mission in order to sell their brands and in order to increase their growth. They're here because they care. And that's why we're working with them, because when it comes down to products like Always, when it comes down to products like Gillette, like P&G are creating different modes of product that are very much engaged with the same mission that we're engaged with. So you said about like what P&G got, what P&G bringing to the table. I mean, they're bringing a huge amount of financial clout to this. And the main aim of this documentary series, and where that money is going, it's going to tell the story of how we can end extreme poverty. Because 50 years ago, half the world lived in extreme poverty. Now, 9% of people around the world live in extreme poverty. I mean, that's an amazing slice of good news that deserves to be on every single front page newspaper everywhere, but it's not. The good news story is not out there. So what P&G is helping to do is to tell the story of Global Citizen, to tell the story of their own impact, and as a result of that, tell the story of how we can end extreme poverty in the next 10 years.
Hi, I'm James Wright and thanks for watching Marketing Media Money. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thanks for watching.